Hello everybody! Antigraviator is a futuristic racing game, inspired by games such as Wipeout and F-Zero. It's not the first game of its type, but it is a very good, fun game that is worth playing. You get to pilot your craft and even upgrade it after you have unlocked the various extra parts by playing the championship mode. The upgrade path is not a linear good, better, best. Each upgrade has advantages and disadvantages, and it is up to you what type of driving experience you prefer to pick the appropriate, if any, upgrade. There are also exterior looks customizing options, including colors, skin jobs for your vehicle. There are the usual type of races in this game: tutorial, single race, championship. You can also play multiplayer over the internet and on the same system with split screen up to 4 players. Single race events can be with or without opponents. I love that, as that gives me the freedom to race the tracks without worrying about opponents trying to improve your time in a track. And race the tracks you'll want to, as the feeling of speed is superb. In fact, because the speed of your craft can reach very high numbers, you'll find that if you want to constantly do well, you'll have to memorize the tracks. Like a real racing driver, you know, Formula 1, WRC and all that. As I mentioned before, the feeling of speed is there, and it would be a shame to not have the right controls for your craft. Thankfully the controls are spot on. At least using an Xbox One controller, as I haven't tried it with anything else yet. I don't know about you, but I like the Wipeout series. My problem is that I find the tracks too narrow and the craft turning too slow, even with the use of air brakes. In Antigraviator it is a different experience for me. I'm not sure if it is what feels like wider tracks, or the feel of the crafts themselves, but can actually drive through a whole lap without hitting the sides 15 times and finish in the top 3. Terms and conditions apply. If you play the game in single player without bots, you try to beat the game you have set for yourself, and by game of course I mean time. It is one of my favorite modes. If however you want to drive with opponents in single race or championship mode, you'll have to deal not just with opponents on the tracks, but also with different type of power-ups. One type is power-ups you collect to be able to use your turbo boost in tidy segments. Think of fuel canisters, which fill your segmented turbo gauge, and when you decide to use it, your craft consumes them, press by press of the button. There are also small parts of the track where if you try over them, you get another short speed boost. Use both types of boost successively and you get to reach speeds where everything just goes way too fast to be able to pilot properly, unless you already know the track or you have a very high level of midichlorians. This game has at least 2 similarities with another great game, Split Second Velocity. I wouldn't normally mention this, but because the Split Second Velocity game is one of my all-time favorite racing games, I couldn't just keep mentioning it. The first is the HUD during races, HUD. Like in that superb game, you have a very Spartan HUD, where you get most of the info you need hovering behind your craft. It was a superb design choice in Split Second, and it is a superb design choice in Antigraviator. The other is the inclusion of environmental obstacles you, or any other racer, AI or human, can initiate when there are opponents near them. This is the second type of power-up in this game. At predetermined parts of the track, which are specified on the minimap at the top of the screen, you get an audio and visual signal, and by pressing the right button you can activate the obstacle. For example, rocks can fall on the track, or landmines appear on the track, or flames spew from the walls. At the same time, if you are the one who initiated the obstacle power-up, you automatically get immunity to them for as long as the specific obstacle is activated. Beautiful! Speaking of obstacles and damage, your craft has shields. This way your craft doesn't just blow up when it hits something at high speed. Well, it depends on speed and obstacle and what craft and upgrades you have on it. If you want to go for something which has limited speed, comparatively, but increased other characteristics, then you risk dying more often. If you get to become very good at this game, you'll probably want to focus more on increased speed and agility over shields. Now, this isn't a proper review as I haven't finished properly the game, but so far I can't find any serious flaws in it. The only thing that comes in mind right now is what I have noticed, that there is a slight, in milliseconds, delay between the time you get the visual warning you can activate an obstacle and the voice telling you the same. So you are better on focusing on the visual signal than wait for the voice. Overall, I find this one of the best games of its style, and I highly recommend it if you enjoy high-speed futuristic racing games. The beta of this game was provided to me by the publisher without any limits attached. Thank you very much for watching.